Now it started. Okay. Sorry, the archive didn't start. I was getting an error on my end. Okay, so now we're starting. We're talking about writing good questions. So the first type is the true false. The true false, don't do the double negative. You know, this is not true false, just no, maybe. It's you're just trying to trick the person at that point. It's mean. Did I do this? Yes, I did. I wrote horrible questions. So this first one here, great. This was we had to write this. This was during my PhD stuff. This was just a fake test, and I used to teach computers a long time ago, so I used that knowledge. But here, Grace Hopper was the first person to describe blah blah blah. Is that true or false? The answer is false. They actually found something that Edison had wrote back in 1878 that used the word bug, but she claimed she did it because back then the Mark One wasn't working, so they lifted up the hood. And that's when computers had hoods, and they found a smushed moth in there. But she didn't coin the term. It's a fairly straightforward question. It's not something you can argue, really. Now look at this one. According to its designer, Toru Iwatani, I think I'm saying that right, the shape of Pac-Man was inspired by an 8-slice pizza pie with 2 consecutive slices removed. Now, here's what I originally had written with this one. Okay, do you see the difference there? It says by 8-slice pizza pie with 2 slices removed. I actually had someone argue that. And you know something? They were right. You could take a slice off of each end. It doesn't have to be one after the other. And if that's the case, Pac-Man doesn't look anything like that. Kind of looks like an hourglass then. So that one little word. Now, honestly, I knew what I meant. I'm surprised they didn't know what I meant. But that's the problem with true false. A lot of times we get this tunnel vision with these questions, and in our head they sound perfectly logical, but we forgot something. So I would highly recommend when you write questions, no matter what the question is, get it looked at by somebody else. So true false, the two main rules here, make sure you write enough that it's clear, but not a book, and don't use not questions. Like here, Grace Hopper was not the first person, or maybe the first. Don't go into the nots in any of these questions, really. Okay, so far so good. Supposed to cheer, yeah, woo, true, false. Okay,
Yeah, the knots will get you all tied up.
what was that?
I said those knots will get you all tied up.
Oh, boo! But I'm pumped. I'm here all week, folks. Don't forget to tip your waiters. Now, the next one is the multiple choice, or some people like to call it the multiple guess. Couple things with this one. Once again, you don't write a book here, but you have to write enough for the question. That this you just there's really no hard and fast rule there. But there's a couple other things. I was guilty of this too. Don't do the answer of all the above. How many of you have ever done that? Or none of the above or all the above? Any of you ever do that?
I've seen it a lot.
Okay, good. The
Yeah.
rest of you, you're perfect, right? I'm the only one who ever did that. No, those are not good to do because honestly, something like 75% of the time, that's the answer. And people feel like you're trying to trick them when you do that. Don't have an answer of all of the above or none of the above. It takes one of the possible answers away. And once again, people feel like they're getting tricked. Another thing which you wouldn't even notice is that look at here, kernel guard. See how short that one is? Look how long this one is. It's pleasing to the eye because it goes from short to long. Here, it goes from low number to high number. That's actually a big thing. They said subconsciously people understand things better when they see a pattern or a certain order. When you do it all jagged, they said people have trouble reading that. So, word of advice and what you should do, put it in a nice order from low to high, high to low, or put it in alphabetical order. Now, there's something called, well, actually, wait, I'll hold off on that. Let's just move on here. So, the keys here are make it look good. That's one thing, short to long, long to short. Keep all the answers the same also. You see how these are all numbers? Don't mix in words also. Keep them all very much the same. And don't write a book. Don't do the not question either. That, which all the following are true except they found that just tricks people. So you don't want to do that, and you don't want to use an all the above, none of the above. Now, matching. I was super guilty of this. Oh, look at that. I didn't do that right on this side. You should always, once again, make it go from short to long. See how Conrad Zeus goes all the way down to here? It gets longer. I should have done it on this side too. I didn't even think about that. I didn't get marked off for that. I hope that guy's not listening. That was like 5 years ago. He could come after me. Take points off. So, also, look how many are on the left side. See how there's 5? Look how many are on the right side. There's 7. Have you ever seen matching or have ever written a matching with the same numbers on both sides? Oh, once again, I'm the only one. Everyone else is perfect.
I've never written anything like this at all.
Oh, okay, good. That's good. I could lie to you. You wouldn't even know.
No, that would be fine.
When you do matching, an ideal matching would be to have at least 2 more on one side than the other. Reason being is, let's say I'll pretend F and G were not here. Oh, you met Grace Hopper. Oh, very cool. I heard she was a nice person, but like took no guff, you know. She was a very straight shooter. Is that true? Sam met Grace
Yes,
Hopper. That's pretty cool.
yes, that's true.
Yeah, I heard that.
She was older.
What was that?
Yeah, she was older than dirt.
Brilliant. She invented COBOL, I heard.
She did. She invented COBOL, and she retired as a Commodore, one star admiral.
Wait, she was in the group The Commodores? Wow.
No, she was in. No, she was a one-star general equivalent in the Navy.
Yeah, she was.
Good for her.
And she retired.
Yeah, but like I said, she's brilliant.
Yeah.
Actually, that's funny because these guys, these are from AT&T. I worked with people who knew them. They're the guys who invented the transistor. If you ever see the picture of the guys who invented the transistor, one of them is sitting down. That's him. This is William Shockley. From what I heard, the other 2 guys invented it. William Shockley was a manager who would run in for the pictures. They hated him. So if you ever see the pictures, one guy is sitting down. That's Shockley. Nobody liked him. But of course, you ask him, he was brilliant. So that's really cool that you knew Grace Hopper. It's a small world. So pretend these 2 aren't here. Pretend F and G aren't there. If I have A through E, let's say I get 3 of them, and I know point blank, I know 3 of them right off the bat. I don't know the other 2. I get a 50-50 shot at this point. I can just guess and maybe get it right. So that's why you want to have more on one side than the other, because you don't want to have them guessing. The idea is that they're actually showing you they know something. And the other thing is, and I'm going to show you this in more examples, keep all the answers the same genre. I love that word, genre. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Okay, now fill in the blanks. This is the one, personally, I think is the trickiest one to do right. You want to make sure that the question is, first of all, not very wordy, but it has to have enough so that the answer they put in there can only be the right answer. Like, for example, look at this one. The name of the category for automatons that are made to resemble humans in both behavior and appearance is, the answer is androids. But it's not. If you want to be technical, there's another answer that could fit in there that's just as valid called a gynoid. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Andy, you really are a storehouse of useless trivia. A gynoid is an android that's in the form of a woman, although it's technically an android. So that one's not correct. Someone could argue it, is what it comes down to. And then now this one, the 3 types of touchscreens, the one that allows 100% of the light. Out of the 3, there is only one that allows that, and that's the acoustic. What were the other 2? I think resistive and capacitive. Now, I want to show you some other examples here to help get these points home here. Is that the companion or? Oh, here we go. Okay, here. This is talking about the fill in the blank. When I do this, oops, what is that doing? This is how I know if someone either came here or listened to the archive. Because indubitably, they will write a question like this, and on my comment, I'll write, you wrote an Abe Lincoln question. And they'll write back, what the hell's an Abe Lincoln? That's how I know they never even watched the archive. Because this is an Abe Lincoln question. Okay, what's the answer? Abe Lincoln was. Give me the answer.
President.
President. Yeah, he was. What else? He was tall. He was a man.
Lawyer.
He was a lawyer. He was very sexy too. You know, anything could fall in there practically. He was killed. Yeah, no kidding. This is called an Abe Lincoln question. An Abe Lincoln question means you gave almost no guidance here, and almost any word could fit into that. So if you write an Abe Lincoln question, then it's not valid. Oh, one other thing. Oh, I almost forgot this. The blank should always go at the end. Always. Don't do this where the blank's in the middle, because what happens is people read this and go, Abe Lincoln wrote the blank blank during a time blah blah, and it gets them all confused. The blank should always go at the end of a fill-in, not in the middle. But I did these two to demonstrate something here. So ignore the fact the blank is not at the end. Abe Lincoln wrote the blank blank during a time in American history that was tumultuous. Okay, what do you write?
Gettysburg Address.
Yes, he did. He also wrote the Emancipation Proclamation.
I also wrote his all the speeches. Everything he wrote for quite a long period would fit in there.
Very good. Absolutely. If you knew the name of the speech, you could put the name in there. Absolutely. Just because I wrote a lot doesn't mean I narrowed it down. Now here, Abe Lincoln wrote the blank blank, which freed the slaves in the rebelling states. Pretty much there's only one answer there, and that's the Emancipation Proclamation. So when you write fill-ins, you have to be specific enough to avoid the Abe Lincoln question. And the blank has to go at the end. Those are the keys there for fill-ins. Now, going back to this, multiple choice here. Pretend you knew nothing about Abe Lincoln. Which one of these is correct? You don't know the first thing about the man, but one of those is correct.
First two are correct.
Well, no. Look at how I wrote it. Without knowing anything.
It's got A-N.
And
Okay, yeah, okay.
yeah,
Gotta get the way
He was an
that.
attorney. Yeah.
he was an attorney. Actually, he was an amateur wrestler. I don't think they had pro wrestling back then. But there, I just gave it away. Make sure when you write it, don't give the answer away. So you would just write Abe Lincoln was a pro wrestler, an attorney, a Confederate, the father of Mary. And remember, don't use not. And this we talked about here. Once again, here, you got two more than the other side. Now let's talk about gaming it up. So any questions on how to write the questions? There's 4 questions: true, false, multiple choice, fill in, and matching. The best question to write really is an essay question, but they're very hard to grade. So we're not going into those. We're just going to do the 4 basics. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, let me close this then. And let's talk about gaming it up now. Gaming it up, there's nothing mystical about it. The goal is just to make it look more pleasing to the eye and to have somebody not freak out when they see this. Oh, somebody just either came on or off. Oh, that must be my email, actually. My email's still open, that's why. Okay, this is something I designed. You're storyboarding it. This doesn't work. None of this functions. Like, here, I can't click on these buttons and make it do anything. This button doesn't do anything. None of this functions. So you are not creating anything functional. You're creating something that this is what it would look like. What you're going to create, you have to have you're going to pretend this is going to show up on a computer screen. So it has to have somewhere on here movement arrows. That's how the person goes from question to question. A progress meter. See, this whole thing's going to be about computers, so my progress meter is in computers. Specifically what they need to do, and some motion. You don't have to have sound. I'm not going to play these presentations, because you can play this presentation in slideshow view. I'm not going to do that. I like to look at it in this view, because I want to see the nuts and bolts behind it. So don't waste your time with music and things like that, because I'm not going to hear it anyway. So here, look at this first one. Which one of these represents frequency modulation? Now here, the goal is, it says you would take the hand. By the way, isn't that a great hand? I did that freehand. I know it only has... I did that freehand. I was so impressed with myself. I can't draw to save my life. That looks pretty good.
You go freehand.
Oh, I knew someone was going to say that. Thank you. So if you read it, it says you drag the hand and plug it into the thing. So instead of clicking on your answer, you're actually plugging this in, and it would make speakers do something. Kind of game-like. There's some motion involved. Here, you could hit the play button to watch the waves move. You can hit the pause button. So just take a guess. Which one of these represents frequency modulation or FM radio? If you get it wrong, you fail the course. That's all I'm going to say. No pressure. So what do you think? Is it the first one, the second one, or the third one? Just take a guess.
First one.
No one wants to guess.
Yeah, I'm thinking the first one because of the way the waves go up and down.
Okay, you're thinking the first one? No one else wants to guess? Okay, you'd be incorrect. But that was a good guess. That's actually amplitude modulation. Frequency is where they get thinner or fatter. This last one's called phase modulation, by the way. If you notice, they change direction. That's what it's called. Like the wave is about to go down, it bounces up again. That's phase modulation. So, but if you look what happens. I got it right. See, my little computer's green. I have a checkbox in there. I can move forward to the next question. Look, music is playing. Once again, there's no music playing. Maybe in my head there is. But you don't have to waste time making music because I'm not going to play it in slide view. Okay, so there's one. Now here, this is a matching one. Now, unfortunately, I should have had one more box on the right-hand side. I didn't. I had 3. I had 4 and I only had 3. But here, once again, you're not dragging anything. I could drag this. It's just going to do that. But nothing's going to function. The goal here is to drag them next to the window that answers the question. And that's what happens when they get it correct. The little Tux gets sunglasses, there's a worm comes out, and Microsoft has the money. Not a surprise there. Okay, here's an example of, this is also matching. There's 3 up here, and there's 4 possible answers. Once again, I should have had 5, I know. You guys familiar with these? These are deal with viral videos and internet cyberbullying?
Numa Numa. Yep, Star Wars kid.
The Star Wars kid, Numa Numa.
I've seen those, yeah.
Okay, what about the Dancing Cadet?
Yeah. That one I haven't.
Yeah, no, very few people see it. You can see how old this presentation is that I did. Look, this represented the camera, this little thingy here. So you can see how old this was. This is before computers had cameras built in. So, yeah, the Numa Numa guy, I think he's from Stanhope, New Jersey, actually. He's just lip-syncing very funny to a song, like a Romanian song, and his friends put it on the internet. He was going to sue them for cyberbullying, but he became famous, so he's like, that's okay. The Star Wars kid, I think in here he's like 13 or 15. He was just he's from Quebec, I believe. He was just some junior high kid pretending to be a Star Wars character, and his quote-unquote friends got a hold of the video and put it up on the internet. He sued the school and I think walked away with $250,000. So if anyone wants to film me doing something stupid, we'll split the money. I got no problem with that. The Dancing Cadet was, he was in the Air Force. His roommate, just before this guy came in, his roommate says, look, I'm going to record my roommate. He dances really weird when he comes back from maneuvers or something. And it just shows him dancing. And he was very upset, but the president, I think it was Bush at the time, gave him a medal for keeping morale up. See, and this is what happens when you get it right. See, this one wasn't correct. These were, the computer closes. Look at my progress. I'm doing really good. Now here, this is a multiple choice. See, I got 4 possible answers. I'm going to feed it into the computer. Anyone remember tractor paper? With the holes on the sides? I love tractor paper. Anyone remember punch cards? Now I'm really feeling old.
I remember punch cards.
Yeah, I worked at AT&T for a little while as a programmer. I had to use punch cards. I was so fearful of someone tripping me in the hallway because they're scattered all over the place. I know they're numbered, but it's still a pain. See, and here, this is a multiple choice. I got it right. So you notice I'm not just clicking an answer.
Hey, Andy.
What? Go ahead, I can hear you.
Andy.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Andy. I go back to paper tape.
You go back to where?
I go back to paper tape.
Oh, wow. Okay. You beat me. I did punch cards, so you beat me. I've seen paper tape.
That's before punch tape.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's awful.
Wow, paper tape. Oh my God. That's like when player pianos used. So if you notice, this whole
Exactly.
there's a theme throughout this entire thing. It's got little cartoony characters. You drag stuff. You're not playing a game. There's no game that you're actually playing here, but it's got game-like qualities to it. There's dragging. There's motion. There's things like that. Now I'll show you some examples. Oh, by the way, these are just extra screens. Here, I'll show you some examples that other students have did in the other classes. I'll show you both good and bad. I got permission from all of them because, like, this person, I did tell her I'm going to say bad things about hers. She agreed. She redid it, actually. Now, this one, when I first looked at it, I'm like, wow, this looks impressive. I'm very impressive what she did here. Now, if you look, I'm just going to go through a few slides here. You notice there's really nothing moving. There's nothing happening except questions appearing. There's no motion. There's no game here. It's just question after question with a pretty background, a funky background. That's all it is. So there's no gaming going on. Now here here's a goof. Let me show you. Here, look at the answers. She's got it right. She's got 4 possible openings and 6 possible answers, but because she mixed them, it's not correct because look, artist who painted water lilies. The first 3 right off the bat are not correct because those are years. I don't really know French, but I know for a fact that's not somebody's name. So right here, this first one is a 50-50 shot between Manet and Monet. I don't know the answer. I'm going to just take a guess. This one, French term, boom. There's only one French term right there. And here, the year, there's 2 of them here, and there's 3 possible years. I'm going to take a guess. So this is not a good example of a matching because of the fact you got a mix over here. And that cuts down the possible answers. See? And once again, there's nothing. See, she did it again here. Now, once again, there's no motion. There's no game being played. It looks good, but this is a test. Okay, so there's that one. So you want to have some sort of motion, something interesting for the eye. Okay, here's another one. I thought this was cute. Cracked burger. Okay, so here. See, she's got the motion here at the bottom. It's got characters, like avatars. And she's got her questions. See? Oh, one other thing. I almost forgot. When you get a question right or wrong. Yeah, Lucas, yeah, I'm here. Everything's clear on my end. Your signal is strong on my end. So I think that might be your end. Are you guys also hearing me in bits and spurts? Lucas is having trouble hearing.
Yeah, same thing's happening to me.
Yeah,
Yes.
that sounds like you're tiling out or something there.
Oh, that's weird because it's...
Yeah, it's weird.
Hold on, let me try something. I'm going to mute everybody because my computer does some weird things when we have more than 5 people. Is it any better now that I muted you? I'm just gonna blabber on. Is it any better? Just type it in the chat box. Tell me if this is better or if I'm still breaking up. Yes, no? Sounds okay now? Yeah, I'm afraid that's what it is. Okay, then I'm gonna have to keep you all muted for now. Yeah, I think that's what it is my computer is having all sorts of issues to begin with. And when we have everybody's mic open, I think it's picking up on the other things. So we'll leave it like that. What I was going to say was, you just type something in the chat box if you need to get my attention. What I was going to say was, one other thing I almost forgot to mention was that on your assessment, you're going to have what happens when they get it right and what happens when they get it wrong. Either way, you got to give feedback right away. See, this isn't good. That was not correct. Try the question again. You got to give them more reason. Why did they get it wrong? What didn't they get right? You got to give them immediate remediation on yours. Okay, so here's the whole thing. I'm just going to go through it. See, there's some motion. Mary walks to the principal's office. Okay, same thing here. Someone walks into a room. Here, drag the burger to the student. So see, you're putting it in the student's mouth. It's kind of cute. Things like that. So once again, it's not really a game. It just has motion. I'll show you some others. This one I thought was really cool. Now, she was missing the structure, meaning the buttons that move you to the next slide, the progress meter. She was missing that, but what I thought was really cool, this is aimed at kids who are kindergartners, preschoolers. They can't read yet. So here, M equals mountain. Yes or no? Drag the bike there. A little kid can handle that. See, they get that. Now, hers was a tough thing because of the remediation. It's very difficult to do the remediation if the person can't read it. So we kind of figured that this guy giving the thumbs up is probably enough. Okay, so here's the one with the dog. D equals dog. Oh no, you got it wrong. Wow, he's crying. It's Eggman. Here's this. Once again, you drag the guy with the skates over to it. See? Eggman. Same thing here. This is multiple choice. Multiple choice. Fill in. You fill in the blank. Okay, so this one was a unique issue because her audience can't read. Okay, now here's the pirate one. Now the next two, unfortunately, I didn't have the font that they used, so some of the stuff is a little out of whack. So don't let that throw you. It actually looked better on their screen. They showed it to me. Okay, this one, once again, she has a story behind it. There's a pirate here. Okay, you're following a map. Let's count the coins together. Ready for me? Second question. You know you all want to talk like a pirate anyway. See, you got to get the guy off the island. There's all sorts of different things here. So, see, this is a cop-out with the fill in the blank because it's math. There is only one answer. Okay, so and if you look up here, the progress meter, she has little dollars in the bags, and the red ones mean you got that one wrong. And if you got it right, you got a green one. So there's an example there. Oh, PD will sing the coin song. Sounds lovely. Okay, okay, yeah, this one's definitely messed up because I don't have the font. But yeah, once again, she showed it on her screen. It looked fine. So this one, it's very simple. You have things like here, place the word in the basket. So you're going to drag the word, the basketball. And once again, she doesn't have remediation here. She needs remediation as to why you got it right or wrong. And then she changed it up a little. Once again, I don't know what the pirate thing was this class. We had like 3 different people do pirate stuff. What about pirates? Arr. So this one is match the sound. This is probably should add more matching. This is more like a multiple choice than a matching. Now this one, it must have been Talk Like a Pirate month. I don't remember. What month is that? Talk Like a Pirate month. I don't remember. But yeah, there was actually, I think it was 4 people did a pirate theme. I'm like, what are you getting all together on this? Okay, so here, the boy is. Now this one, I burst her bubble on. First of all, this is not a fill-in. It looks like a fill-in, but it's not. It's a multiple choice because she's giving you the answers. So that's not a fill-in. A true fill-in, you don't give them the answers. They have to write down the answer. Now, if you look at this, I could argue the answer is the boy is sad. But you know something? I could argue the boy is bad. He's so bad he's upset. See? Now, fat, obviously he's not fat. He's not a beetle or anything. So you could argue that one. Once again, no remediation. She needed remediation. Okay, pig is in the mad, the mop, the mud. Once again, this is not a fill-in because she's giving you the possible answers. Pig is in the mud. That one, pretty much right. Okay, so I think those are all the examples. Yep. Any questions? Everyone good so far? Okay, let's go here. Okay, let's go to the assignment. Everyone's good. Excellent. Okay. I'm going to go to the assignment because I want to add in the extra stuff. The errata, or however you pronounce that. Because once again, they rewrote my month and seem to have ignored a lot of the stuff I told them to put in there, which is very annoying. Okay, so let's scroll down here. Here we go. Creating a gamified assessment. Let's go to edit. Let's bring up the PDF. And then I'm going to put in the extra so we're all on the same page. You want it to be graphical, Lucas, because you want it to be able to be seen at a moment's notice what they're doing. But you can do it 0 to 100%, but you want to, if you do straight 0 to 100%, once again, it brings up the fear, I guess you could say, the nervousness. Someone I remember about 1.5 years ago did this. They did a medical one, and they used a thermometer. And they put the numbers in there, but they used a thermometer, and that went with their whole game. So it worked out really well. So I wouldn't just do 0 to 100%. Come up with something that's kind of fun or interesting that works with what you got. It makes it less threatening. Okay, so here's what you're going to create. You're going to create a slideshow. Remember, nothing functions. It's just a storyboard. You will have a total of 25 slides. One is a title slide. You can make it anything you want. I don't care. You're going to have 2 of each type of question. So there'll be 2 true false, 2 multiple choice, 2 matching, and 2 fill in the blank right here. You will have the question. Then you will have a slide that shows what happens when they get it right, and then a slide that shows what happens if they got it wrong. That includes remediation. It includes what they would see. It includes the progress meter, things like that. And if there's 8 questions, because there's 2 of each, and then there's 3 slides per question. You got the question, the correct, and the incorrect. That's 24 slides. Now, some of the things you're being, I guess, graded on or looked at, just have a nice title slide. It does, when it says well designed, don't go nuts. It doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to look nice. That's all. It has to be related to what you did in week 1. Now, here's where let's say, because you don't know what was coming in week 2, I don't like to penalize somebody because they couldn't see what was coming. Let's say what you did in week 1. You look at it and go, wow, there is nothing I can do. There is no questionnaire I can make that would work with this. None. I've had that happen. Then come up with an assessment that's on a related topic. Once again, let's say you did something about the solar system, although that would work really well, assessment. But let's say there was just no way you could make it work. Okay, so maybe wait, I got a better example. Let's say you did something on aliens. Okay, I'm hooked on these aliens or something. You did something on aliens, and you just can't ask any questions about it. Well, then ask questions about the solar system. It's kind of related. As long as it's in the same general topic area. Once again, if you did something about aliens, then you would not have a questionnaire about Jane Eyre, because I don't think there were any aliens in that book. The questions have to be written in the proper format. Once again, follow the rules that we discussed here and what you read about. Remember the Abe Lincoln question. Don't fall for that. Now I'm going to add the extras. Oh, yeah, the assessment's logical. And once again, it has some gaming part to it. I'm going to throw that into the extra stuff here. Here we go. I'm going to do it right here. You're here while I'm writing it. Rata. I think I should spell this right. Okay, your assessment must have movement arrows or movement buttons or some way for the user to go from one slide to the next. You must have a progress meter. The entire, don't you like that I'm typing as I'm talking? The entire assessment has to have game-like qualities. In other words, your assessment should have motion. Motion. Your assessment should not just be a list of questions. There we go. You can lose points if you do not also follow the above. Okay, sound good? There we go. I'm going to save that. Save. Okay. Look at that. We're about 8 minutes ahead of schedule. Yeah, yes. Okay, so let me, I'll close that in a minute. Okay, so let me stop the recording.